Hey, good morning, and how are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing amazing. So, we're back and we're writing on Echoes of. I'm sorry, I'm not awake all the way yet. Echoes of the Cosmic Veil. And just woke up. Of course, I was up way late writing on this last night, and I'm still discombobulated slightly, but not all the way. And so we'll have our crap together real quick here. I'm going to get chat up real quick and then we'll immediately start writing. Of course, we're two revisions in chapter 3. This is not the first revisions, but last night I actually found a blatantly obvious mistake. So even though we're on revision 3, there are still actual mistakes that are just there. It's not a big deal. We'll get it fixed. Hold on one second. Gonna have chat. Man, I hope you guys are having a great morning, by the way. Okay, got chat up. That's an accomplishment for the morning at minimum, right? Okay. Hey, good morning, Midnight Bacon. I hope you're having a good day. Rocking and stuff. I'm trying to find out where to put everything. I think I've got ourselves undiscombobulated enough that we can pull off a stream. That's always nice. Okay, boom. And I've got chat up, which is even more complicated somehow. Um, so, in our last chapter, we fixed stuff. We got over to Sarah and Zach's. We're using the money they're giving us basically to go pick up drugs to be able to pay off our front and pick up new drugs. So I have him leaving directly from there, letting them know he'll be right back. Of course, he's not going to get right back. There are probably pieces of this that I'm not going to like. I'm going to just be straight with you guys. A lot of it I was really happy with, and then every little bit while we're doing this reread, since it's been about, I don't know, at least 3 months since I even have looked at this last, some of the ways I wrote stuff is just seeming, it bugs the crap out of me. Let's just be honest. And I wrote it. So I'm sitting there looking at it thinking, holy WTF. My coffee is amazing though. Okay, let's get adjusted. All in for the count. As I arrived at Trag's club, it was clear something was going on. There was a wait. There at the door. Okay, that I don't like the writing on. Okay, there at the door were Bruno. Okay, we're just gonna change the order of this just slightly. We're just gonna go like this. Watch. We're just taking Bruno back here. And we're gonna just change the order of how we said that. Okay. As I arrived at Trag's club, it was clear something was going on. Bruno and Frank were at the door. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador. Do we like that? Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador, as well as connected gangsters. I kind of feel like that would be obvious, right? They're all gangsters. Everybody's a gangster. Oh, so I had worked on this way earlier, and it was actually a pretty fun thing. I've had this idea and basically this story floating in my brain for like years, and I kept on just going back over it in my head again and again. And I figured at this point I might as well write the story. I like making up stories in my own brain. Like, to be honest, this experience has been awesome. Interacting with everybody, the brainstorming part, the finding out actually how difficult it is to puke a story and actually get it to be what you want. Like, you could have the whole story in your mind, But then turning that into conveyable words is not as easy as I would have guessed on a large book. Like I had flipped out some little like short kids books just to flip them out to see about that. That was pretty easy. An actual novel is whew, um but mental challenges are awesome. Like just freaking awesome. Like it's a good experience. It's been like humbling. Like I've definitely learned some things from this. So basically, that's what inspired me to the fact that it was going to happen anyway, just flat out. Okay, so Bruno and Franks were enforcers for Salvador, a connected gangster. Oh, so we're saying Salvador is the connected gangster. That makes sense. Who was known to run contraband and considered a good wait and considered and was considered good to his friends. I feel we have too much going on here. Okay. We're gonna stop this right here and we're gonna fix it. Watch that. Connected gangster who was known to run contraband. Many feared. Oh, we forgot the R in there. Okay, let's see. We'll go back. We'll see if we fixed it or if we just made it worse. Sometimes, can I tell you guys, I think I'm about to fix it because I figured out some great thing. And then I fix that the way I think it's going to be. Then I read back through it and I think, oh my God, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? God, is my coffee hot though. As I arrived at Trag's club, it was clear something was going on. Bruno and Frank were at the door. That definitely sounds better. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador and well connected gangsters. Oh, see, yeah. Who? A well connected gangster who ran contraband. I don't know why I don't like that. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador. A well connected. Let's just say it better, right? Salvador, who was a well connected gangster. Yeah, I see what we're going to do. And boom, I think we have it fixed. Let's find out. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador, who was a well-known gang or a well-connected gangster. Why do I want the known world? I keep on saying known. Should I switch it to known? Let's read it. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador, who was a well-connected gangster. I think he is well known. I feel that the fact I said well known, even though the connected is there twice, makes it's smoother for the brain. Okay, let's read that. Oh no, I understand why, because I have the word, excuse me, known for running contraband. Oh, and that was horrible. I don't even know what my fingers were doing. They just hit random buttons there. Okay, I think we've got this. As I arrived at Trag's club, it was clear something was going on. Bruno and Frank were at the door. Bruno, Oh, that sounds way simple. Yeah, let's just move on. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador, who was a well connected gangster known for running contraband. I don't know why I'm not liking that, but I think I'm just beating it to death, and I think it's just because I'm tired. I'm waking up, it's okay. Many feared Salvador, but he was considered good to his friends. Yeah, I have thrown a chain into what we had, and now we have to fix it for reals. Holy crap! What did I do? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the as I arrived. Okay, arriving at Trags, it was clear something was going on. Bruno and Frank were at the door. We're not at the door. We're gonna have them guarding the door, right? They're not just at the door. Guarding the door. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador, who was a well connected gangster known not to run for running, known for running contraband. Many feared Salvador, but he was considered good to his friends. I think by implying he's a gangster, we don't have to say that people disappear. Do we have to preface that, or do you think I need a whole sentence here saying people are going to get off if they mess with him? Or I think we can move forward. The gangster implies the guy ices people, right? Oh, think I might have I fixed it, guys. I also realized that because I'm not listening to anything, I don't actually need these things on today. Like, slowly put that together there. I don't know why. Just, I'm all like sitting there with my headphones on, streamer mode. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's read this. I think we've got it kind of fixed up to right here, right? Hold on one second. Let me read this. Yeah, I get it. Oh, okay. I get it. Watch this. Listen to this. I got this. Arriving at Trag's club, it was clear something was going on. Bruno and Frank were guarding the door. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador, who was a well connected gangster who ran contraband. Oh, no, see. Yeah, I agree. I do need to say it. Known for running contraband. Known for running. Run. See there? Okay, we might have it. Bruno and Frank were enforcers for Salvador, who was a well connected gangster known for running contraband and more than a few disappearances. See, we've got the whole idea that he will off you right there, right? Many feared Salvador, but he was considered good to his friends, and Trag happened to be one. One of them. Let's say it. Okay. Frank was a large man for a human and always looked as if he was trying to decide whether he wanted to buy you a drink or mess you up. I'm happy with that. Bruno was a Castorian, which I don't remember what we made up the Castorians to be. So let's look and see if we made their name up. I didn't put them. Oh, I do. I have them in the codex. What is a Castorian? Castorians are one of the first alien races that allied with humans early on in the expansion of the Empire period, long before the Great Wars. Oh, he's an amphibian. Okay. What the crap? A bear dude amphibian with a Okay. So when we were making this guy up, this race up, I feel we were being wild. Yeah. Okay, so we have a bear duck dude. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not changing it. 3 meters high, so that's one heck a high dude. We only mentioned the race one freaking time. Ooh. Book two's gonna have a custodian in it. We created a whole race. We're not gonna just use it once. Okay. Bruno was a custodian who towered over most humans by a full meter. His fur was light ice blue, and his strangely duck like face seemed to always give a friendly grin. I knew them from a job I had done more than a year ago. Okay, I don't like the wording on this. Okay, I knew them from a job I had done more than a year ago where I broke the access code of a data chip that contained some information. Okay. Let me just change the order of this because the sentence has everything we want in it. It just sounds like shit. Okay. I knew them from a job. Okay, so let's take this and break it up. It had been over a year, but I knew them, wait, from a job we had worked together. So we could get rid of that. It had been over a year, but I knew them from a job we had worked together. Missed the thing. Okay, this is gonna fix it. Okay, they had needed some information off a data chip that had advanced encryption. Okay, I just need to figure out how to replace this. Then we have to read through and actually make sure I fixed it and didn't just destroy it. Okay, because I will legit be honest. There's been multiple times I thought I was fixing something and all I was doing is just making absolute chaos inside of what we had done. You'd think you'd be able to tell, you can't. Till it's done, and then you read it and you're like, holy shit, what did I do? Man, I hope you guys are having a great evening or morning. My coffee's starting to kick in. I feel we're doing pretty good. Let's see this. Okay, his fur was light ice blue. Ice blue or icy blue? Ice blue. Light ice blue. I don't use the word icy ever. Icy? No. Icy as in cold. Okay. Just a Y. We're going to go with icy. Do you know the last time I used the word icy was, I don't know if I've ever typed this word in my life. We have now. His fur was light icy blue, and his strangely duck-like face seemed to always give a friendly grin. It had been over a year, but I knew them from a job we had worked together. They had needed some information off a data chip that had advanced encryption. Okay, this is the sentence we're at, which is not, going to mix with that because we just made up that other stuff in there. She broke the access code of the data chip that contained some information they want. Oh crap, overly. Okay, I think we have it fixed. They had needed some information off of a data chip that had advanced encryption. It was an overly difficult task for what they were paying, but I managed to retrieve what they had wanted. Okay, that we're good with. Boom. And we're almost done through a paragraph. As I walked up, I watched their faces, trying to gauge the situation, figure out if I was scoring. Wait. Oh, and figure out as I walked up. I, oh, see, I was reading this as if they were trying to gauge the situation, so this is not clear. As I walked up, I watched their faces. As I tried. Oh. Let's change this. This will clarify it. As I walked up, I watched their faces as I tried to gauge the situation and figure out if scoring would still be an option. If scoring would still be an option. I think that's good, but as I walked up, I watched their faces and tried to gauge the situation and find out if scoring would still be an option. Okay. When I finally found myself standing in front of them, I realized I still had no idea what to say. This guy spins. I made him not know what to say a lot, is what I'm realizing. So I just asked, "Is this a bad time?" Frank smiled as he opened the door for me, saying, head on in. Head on in. Trag was expecting you would come by. See, I wrote that weird. That's on me. Hold on one second. Let me read this. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna play Entropy this week too. By the way, I'm not doing Entropy. I'm just going to make sure that we get this book fully finished this month, or at the beginning of next month. Man, my phone's already beeping at me, you guys. It's five something in the morning, and my phone's going beep 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 at me. It's no rest, no rest. Okay, let's look over this and see if we have situations going on. I think we do. Right here. When I finally found myself standing in front of them, you don't really find. This is going to take a drink of coffee to fix this. Hmm. Not every sentence is going to be perfect too, so like it there is a chance that we're just left with the imperfect sentence. As I walked up, I watched their faces as I tried to gauge the situation and figure out if scoring would still be an option. When I finally found myself in front of them, I realized I still had no idea what to say. So I just asked, "Is it a bad time?" Is that bad? Frank smiled as he opened the door to me. Wait. Frank smiled, comma, as he opened the door for me, saying, "Head on in. Trag's expecting you." Trag was expecting you would come by today. Trag was expecting you would come by today. I don't know why it's bugging me. I don't know how to fix that one yet. We're gonna figure this out right here. Frank smiled as he opened the door for me, saying, "Head on in. Trag was expecting you." Trag was expecting you would come by today. I don't think I would talk like that. I don't think Frank would talk like that. I don't know Frank that well, but I would buy him a beer. So let's say that he doesn't talk like that. Let's just say, okay, I changed the way that guy talks. I did it on purpose so we're not judging. I realized I still had no idea what to say, so I just asked, "Is this a bad time?" Frank smiled as he opened the door for me, saying, "Head on in." Trag was hoping, yep, you might be by today. That sounds a lot better somehow. It goes smoother. Let's leave it like that. I walked in, noticing Trag was sitting with Salvador and three men I had never seen before. Salvador was Trag's main connection and would often use Trag's club to meet with clients or hire for our odd jobs. This seemed different with all the this seemed different with all this muscle around. This seemed different with all this muscle. Okay, Watch this. This seemed different, comma. Okay, this seemed different. This time there was a lot of muscle around, and one of the men looked like some type of corporate officer. See, we fixed it. Oh, thank God. We're fixing this and making it so much smoother than it was. Thank. Okay, boom. This seems like too many spaces here. Oh, what? That's two spaces. I'm a liar. He was human, well dressed, with a calm about him. Okay. He was human, well dressed, with a calm about him that displayed his command. The other two looked mostly to be cyborgs, with much of it seeming to be salvaged military tech. Okay, I think we're good there. The other two looked to be mostly cyborg, with much of it seeming. Oh, let's make. Are there human cyborgs, right? Bruno? It's Bruno, is who we got here. Bruno and. Who was the other one that we made with Bruno? Kyoto. Let me click Bruno. Oh, Bruno and Frank. No, Bruno and Frank are the doors. So it is. Where's Kyoto? Sorry, guys. Kyoto and Washington are the cyborgs. We didn't define them out as human? Okay. We didn't define these guys out as human. So let me find Washington. Are they human? Do we want them to be human? Okay, Washington's gonna be a human. Oh no. I'm gonna have them both be humans. We're gonna have some humans here. I was about to get wild. Let's put this in the codex that they are humans. Kyoto, blah blah blah. Washington. Let's find Kyoto now. By the way, this codex that allows me to go back and forth and keep stuff like that, or find where any character is mentioned and stuff like that, is super handy. Like, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's get back to this. I walked in, noticing Trag was setting with Salvador and three men I had never seen before. Salvador was Trag's main connection and would often use Trag's club to meet with clients or hire for odd jobs. This seemed different. This time there was a lot of muscle around. One of the men looked like some type of corporate enforcer. Thought I made him look like a corporate officer? We'll leave it at that. He was human, well dressed, with a calm about him that displayed his command. The other two looked to be mostly humans, comma, mostly cyborg, with much of it seeming to be with much of it seeming to be salvaged military technology. Do we want tech or technology? I feel this guy had used tech. I feel that the word tech is the right word. Where are we at on this? Holy crap, are we going to be still doing this for a second? Okay. Obviously, chapter 3 got super big. That's what I noticed. Trag mentioned for me. Okay, Trag motioned, not mentioned. Trag motioned for me to come over, which I did with slight reservation, considering the company he was setting with. As I walked towards the group of men, Trag smiled, saying, "Did you come to take care of that of your front?" Oh wait, did you come to take care of your front? Period. Did you come to take care of your front? The one from the other day? Is that too simple? Jeez, that might be too simple. Okay, I was quick to reply. I don't want to interrupt. I just wanted to pay off my front and see about getting a few things. Okay, I don't think there's enough spaces between here. Boom. Trag placed his deck out to receive the credits transferred without saying anything. The amount I needed to transfer was on display, so I quickly transferred it. As the credits processed through, Trag stated, "All squared up now. What did? Let's see. What do you want to talk to me about?" What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk to me about? I'm going to leave it the way it is. Okay. I wanted to get what I needed quickly. Okay, I wanted to get what I needed quickly and let them get back to their business. I'm okay with that. I wanted to get the. Sorry, something's bugging me here, and I'm not sure if it's just like I don't feel it smooth. I wanted to get what I needed. I wanted to get. Not needed. Okay, I wanted to get what I came for quickly and let them get back to their business. So I politely replied, "Well, I was hoping I could get a front on some bliss and amper, just enough for a good time for me and a few friends to party a little." Trag calmly exclaimed, "Sam, I would really love to, but I'm not gonna. Wait, I would really love to, but I'm not going to front you anything today." Oh, I don't like how I wrote that. "Sam, I'd really love to, but I'm not going to front you anything today." So here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to change how I said this because I hate it. "Sam, I'd really love to, but okay, we just totally changed the crap out of everything. Just so you know, but watch this. It's going to be better because of it, I think. Or I just destroyed everything. Whatever. We'll find out. We can rewrite it. Okay, let me find out. I wanted to get what I had came for quickly and let them get back to their business. So I politely replied, "Well, I was hoping I could get a front on some bliss and amper, just enough for a good time for me and a few friends to party a little." Trag calmly explained, Sam, I'd really love to, but as much as you could use a front, my friend could use your help. Boom. See? That sounds better. Absolutely better. Now I get to drink some coffee and happiness. Okay. I tried to gauge if Trag was joking, but he sat there straight faced. From oh, no, but why would he be joking? Oh, now I have to change that. See, because I had it where he didn't know if he really wouldn't, but now that would make no sense. I tried to gauge what. I gotta make sure that we're not about to conflict something that's ahead. I tried to gauge what Trag. Okay, I tried to gauge what Trag was getting into, but he sat there, straight faced, for what seemed like forever without saying a word. I felt pounding, knowing the amount of credits I had remaining would not be enough to score, even if I found someone else who was able to get me what I wanted. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna pick. Okay, let's see if these two sentences make sense still, and we're good. I felt panicked knowing the amount of credits I had remaining would not be enough to score, even if I found someone else who was able to get me what I wanted. Worse than that, I did not know anyone else well enough to get a front from. Mm, okay. Worse than that, I did not know anyone else well enough to get. Okay. It's not that. I'm reading over this, trying to figure out. My mustache is kind of tickling my nose somehow, like normal. Why wouldn't it do that? Worse than that, I did not know anyone else well enough to get a front. Hmm. Okay, I gotta fix this. This. I'm gonna get a Kleenex real quick, and I'm gonna fix this. Okay, guys and girls, everybody that's just freaking awesome. I don't like this sentence. Actually, I'm literally looking at it and thinking I'm gonna throw the whole thing in a garbage almost. Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking that sentence right out. I'm gonna see if we even needed it. There's a chance we actually just deleted something that didn't need to be there. I felt panic knowing the amount of credits I had remaining would not be enough to score even if I found someone else who was able to get me what I wanted. What would I tell Zach and Sarah? Do we need something in here? I feel that there's something going on that I'm missing. I feel that was an intense coffee drink. Okay, I don't. Um, I'm gonna try to see if this is better. I think I fixed it. We've erased some stuff. Okay, we fixed that. Okay, I tried to gauge what Trag was getting me into, but he sat there straight faced for what seemed forever without saying a word. I felt panic knowing the amount of credits I had remaining would not be enough to score, even if I found someone else who was able to get me what I wanted. I would have no choice but to find out. Oh, see my comma? I don't know what the heck's going on there. That's not how commas go. I would have no choice but to find out what Salvador and his associates needed. If not, what would I tell Zach and Sarah? See? Boom. We just fixed that. Holy crap, was that a lot of work to fix a paragraph, right? Crazy. Okay. Then suddenly, to my relief, Trag spoke. See, Sam? Salvador and his acquaintances have a problem. It's a tech thingy. Not my cup of tea. But Salvador remembered about you being a technopath and your knack with technology. Now Salvador and his... Okay. I don't know if I need now Salvador and his friends. Now Salvador and his friends. Let's leave that like that just for fun. For a second until it bugs me. Now Salvador and his friends want to know if you're able to help them out. Okay. Believe that. I'm cool with that. Salvador remembered. Okay, remembered. Okay, we'll fix it. But Salvador remembered me telling him about. But Salvador remembered me telling him about you, a technopath. Oh, being a technopath. You being a technopath, and your knack with technology. That makes sense. Okay. Now the Salvador and his friends wanted to know if you'd be able to help them out. I think it's just friend. Let's go friend. Okay. Okay. Now Salvador and his friend want to know if you may be able or would be able. Now Salvador and his friends want to know. Anxiety hit me. Now I was wondering. Wait. Now I was wondering what would come next if I had gotten myself involved in something more than just simple. I mean, ugh. Anxiety hit me. Now I was wondering what would come next, and if I had gotten myself involved with something more than just a simple deal for a few doses. But I am really, not really sure. My God, I wrote this weird. But I am not really sure what we're dealing with without seeing it. Why does that seem bad? Trag, I would love to help. I don't feel that's how you would talk to a gangster. Trag? Okay, we're going to turn that to a sentence. Trag, I'm always willing to help you out, but I'm not really sure what we're dealing with. Okay, Trag, I'm always willing to help you out, but I'm not really sure what I'm dealing with without seeing it. That we're freaking happy with finally. Okay. See how we've got all the way through another paragraph right there? That's freaking epic. Sam, this is Akio. He'll Yeah, that's the Asian dude that we made up. He's the corporate dude. He is willing to pay well, very well, and may even have an opportunity for us. I feel I really went out of control with the length of my sentence length. Oh, yeah, this doesn't make sense. Sam, this is Akio. He's willing to pay well, very well. Period. Let's keep this. Sam, this is Akio. He is willing to pay well, very well for this. He may even have an opportunity for us. Long term. So could you see if you could help him out? Let's fix this. I feel that the Trag asked. Okay, Trag leaned in as he. I don't know how we're gonna have him. So let's picture this in our mind. They're in a bar. Okay, we got him drinking whiskey now. And I'm gonna fix this. Trag leaned in, taking one more swig of the whiskey he was drinking. Sam, this is Akio. Wait, are we having Trag do it? Okay, yep, whatever. We'll have that. Trag's the one that says it, I guess. Trag leaned in, taking one more swig of whiskey. Of the whiskey he was drinking. Sam, this is Akio. He is paying. He is willing to pay well, very well for this. He may even have an opportunity for us long term. So could you see if you could help him out? Mm, I think we're good there. We can get rid of that. One, two. Okay. Trag leaned in, taking one more swig of whiskey. Swig of the whiskey he was drinking. I don't know why my brain is just making up shit today. Trag leaned in, taking one more swig of the whiskey he was drinking. Sam, this is Akio. He is willing to pay well, very well for this. He may even have an opportunity for us long term. So could you see if you could help him out? Knowing I had no other choice, I reluctantly said, Sure, Trag. What do you need me to look at? As I sat down at the table, Akio, Salvador, Washington, and Kyoto quickly introduced themselves. Akio was from. Oh my god, I didn't write where Akio was from. What are we looking at here? We just have a space here, guys? Akio was from. And then I went nowhere. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, let's watch this. Okay. He was well dressed and clearly looked to be from some corporation. I knew soon as Trag got up to lock the door and close the place. See, do we have them doing that? Yeah, F it. It must be something serious. Salvador and the other men at the table glanced over at me, as if to size me up. I sensed the technology that made up the two cyborgs, Kyoto and Washington. They both had subdermal plating, enhanced optics, improved reflex tech, and communication links. I mean, a communication link. Boom, boom. We don't need that. Link. Communication link. A communication link. And a weapon interface link. Altogether, they were very lethal. My senses were going crazy about the energy coming. Okay, my senses were going crazy. I want to kind of change that. My senses were going crazy about the energy, not about. My senses were going crazy from the energy coming from the metal case Akio was holding. I attempted to reach out with my technopathic abilities to get a sense of what it might be, to no avail. Okay, I'm okay with all that so far. Salvador took a large drink of whiskey, and oh, I even had him drinking whiskey. We picked the right booze for him. I didn't even remember. Let's write that in his stuff. Salvador's codex. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure we kill Salvador. No, maybe Salvador survives. I don't remember if Salvador lives. Oh. Look the other way on all that dead stuff. Oh, it's Trag that we have drinking whiskey. Is Salvador drinking whiskey too? Let me look over this. Oh, they're all drinking whiskey. Okay, everybody's drinking whiskey that night. Okay, we don't have to put that in the codex. They're just all having whiskey. Okay. Salvador took a. I hate whiskey. Just for the record, it's freaking super powerful. Man, that stuff, I'm not a fan. Salvatore took a large drink of whiskey and without even a pause spoke. Sam, we have an opportunity and I'm hoping you can help us out. Nerves hit me as the words tumbled out. What do you need? I mean, what can I help you with? I feel that's okay. We're going to have to move that somewhere. Trag sat down with us as Akio laid the metal box down on the table and opened it, asking, Sam, do you know what this is? My gaze was drawn to it instantly. It was small, of strange metallic substance with no visible connection ports. Ooh. Strange. Let's change that to not just. Watch this. We're going to make it a little more alien. Almost wet. Okay. Strange, almost wet looking metallic substance with no visible connection ports. I could sense the large amounts of power it contained, which meant it likely had some kind of internal isotope battery. More than that, I felt the ego of the device reaching out for me, and I could feel my technopathic abilities reaching back. I knew what it was, but it made no sense, so I just said what was on my mind. It's an AI of some kind with an artificial consciousness. That level of technology is impressive. How does it interface? I noticed a crack in this. I noticed a crack in the seriousness. Wait. Why would there be a crack in the seriousness? That's the wrong way. I don't think it's a crack in the seriousness. You guys agree? So, oh, it's going to be a crack in his composure. I noticed a crack in the composure on Akio's face as he smiled, saying, "See, Sam, what we have here, okay, see, Sam, what we have here is an implantable AI system, a backbrain one, from the early part of the Great War. We really need someone who can access the data stored on it." Okay, so that we're happy with. Holy crap, we're still going to be working on this tomorrow, just so you guys know. It was far it was far more advanced than anything I had seen before, and the mystery contained within the AI intrigued me. I replied, "It seems to be sensitive to my technopathic abilities, so I think our best approach is establishing a near field connection. What kind of data are you trying to retrieve?" Akio spoke in a calm, soft voice. "Good, Sam. That's exactly how our team had approached the problem as well. They were having resistance, though, and I could not retrieve the information we wanted. We need a memory, specifically the location on a ship." I pulled out my cyber deck and began to set it up, loading the programs I wanted quicker access to. I wondered why a corporation would not be using their own assets to retrieve the data files, but this was too good of an opportunity to ruin with unneeded questions. Maybe this was an off books project, one that was not actually authorized and known about through wait, or known about throughout the corporation. Yeah, that's reasonable. I thought this might be a good time to ask, do you know of any issues with viruses or any or other security protocols I might need to know about in advance? Let's space this properly. Akio hesitated for a brief second before saying, "Sam, they noticed some resistance in retrieving the files. Some of it was barriers, and some of it was an active system hiding files. It seems the AI was still present in some manner. Or, wait, some manner. Okay, in some manner. Our head, let's period that. Boom. Period. Oh, boom. Our head technopath swore there was a residual presence of the owner, but we deem that highly unlikely. See, we already know that there is definitely a residual presence of the owner. Oh my god, we're going to get through this. I inquired. You said that we. I inquired. You said that your lead technopath thought that the owner's presence was still in the system somehow? It might help to know who it belonged to. Akio replied, "Like you, Eric was a very strong technopath. Eric worked as an assistant to one of our lead scientists, Dr. Kerr, in which Eric and Dr. Kerr developed technologies for our company. The last project being worked on, they did on the Zachrins virus. Dr. Kerr was taken prisoner and sentenced to death, but was being kept in stasis aboard a prison hulk owned by Gleetech. Yeah, I call him Gleetech. Eric spent years working to find Dr. Kerr, where Dr. Kerr was being held. Then he managed to infiltrate, earning a position as a ship officer. We'll leave that like that for a second. We know he got aboard the ship, but we have no idea where the ship is or what happened to it. On top of being one of our most brilliant scientists, Dr. Kerr is a Vermatech shareholder, a Vamratech shareholder, making it a priority to recover if possible. I was more curious with each moment. What data file or information am I looking for? I asked. Akio had a serious look as he said, "We need to know the location of the prison hulk. It seems Eric did something to the other crew members and scuttled the prison hulk somewhere before leaving on one of the small transport ships. His remains were only recently found on one of the planets that was being reclaimed. He died when the horrors came to it. Okay, so we've got all the way through chapter 3. Absolutely done. Holy crap, you guys. That is awesome. I'm super happy about that. Um, I'm gonna do this every morning at this time. Is the theory is I'm gonna wake up at 5 and we're gonna write, knock out a chapter. I'm gonna wake up at 4. We're gonna try to start at 5. So tomorrow we'll be pushing forward even more. Super excited about that. First thing in the morning. Later on this afternoon, of course, I will be, streaming a video game. That'll be a different stuff. I hope you guys have a great start to the week. I very much thank you for hanging out. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. Outside of that, just have an epic week. Peace and very best wishes.